This is what I ordered on Uber Eats, and this is what I received. That's because the restaurant I ordered from doesn't exist. It's actually part of a secret hidden network of fake restaurants that only exist on your favourite delivery apps. On the surface, they look perfectly normal. In fact, most of them look delicious, but behind the picture perfect menus and questionable 5-star reviews, there are actually other restaurants in disguise. So I ordered from every single ghost kitchen on Uber Eats in an attempt to uncover the truth. And the deeper I went, the darker things got. I uncovered a restaurant committing illegal activity, a ghost kitchen hiding behind a household name you've definitely heard of, and a small local pub running 7 ghost kitchens at the same time, all in an attempt to answer one very important question. Are all ghost kitchens a scam? I'll be ranking each of them in 3 different categories to answer that very question. After this, I genuinely don't think I can ever order from Uber Eats again. We're starting with Fire Away Pizza. This place has 1.5 stars on Uber Eats. How is that even possible? How are they open? They sell pizza, makes sense. Garlic bread, makes sense. And chicken wings. And that is literally it. That's like the only thing they serve. Which could be a problem, because at each of these restaurants I'm going to be ordering a mystery dessert for no other reason other than the fact that I like dessert. Leave me alone. So you might be wondering, how do you know this is a ghost kitchen? Well, I know this is a ghost kitchen because I went there in real life, and this place is actually a kebab shop. But regardless, let's give them a fair chance and have a look at some of these reviews that probably aren't going to be good given they've got 1.2 stars. Karen says, "Cannot comment on the food. It was 30 minutes late. It went straight in the bin as it arrived cold." That might be the most Karen thing you could possibly do. Looking at the reviews raised a lot more alarm bells about this place, because the reason why its rating is so low is because most of the people didn't even receive an order at all. I know the whole idea of this video is to test out if ghost kitchens are a scam or not, but in this case, I might actually get fully scammed. I feel like I'm playing a dangerous game ordering from this place. Considering this place is supposed to be a pizza place, they only actually have like 5 options. It's a suspiciously small menu. I think I'm going to get the King Pepperoni Pizza, the cheesy garlic bread, because at this point my love for garlic bread is basically a personality trait, and they do have a single dessert on the menu, which will be my mystery dessert, and all of that comes to a total of £23.31. That seems a bit steep, so for value I'm going to give them a 4 out of 10. But I could downgrade that when the food turns up. We'll see. I placed my order and then immediately noticed something a bit strange. The location listed on Uber Eats is not the location the food's coming from. I need to know what faraway pizza are hiding. Is that the doorbell? Just so we're all on the same page, I don't have a doorbell, so I just added that in the edit. I'm gonna go cut to the food. The food has turned up, which is a positive sign, because a lot of those 1-star reviews just said their food just straight up never turned up. However, I can't help but notice there's only 2 boxes, and I ordered my mystery dessert. Okay, that's not too bad. The pizza actually looks pretty good. Could looks be deceiving, and could the cheese be like chewing gum? Cheese pull? Yeah, maybe looks were deceiving. That is a bit of a mess. I mean, look at the grease on my hands. After about 10 seconds of chewing, it goes like sour. It's so bad that after one bite, I actually have to go wash my hands. Let's move on to what I can only assume is the garlic bread. Again, doesn't look too bad, but that does mean I have been scammed. I paid £6.50 for a dessert, and it's nowhere to be seen. I consider myself a bit of a garlic bread connoisseur, so I should be able to rate this fairly accurately. It's like chewing cardboard. It doesn't taste that bad, but it's so chewy, it actually ruins the taste. In terms of accuracy, I'm gonna give them like a 7 because the food does look like it did on the menu, which is more than I was expecting when I saw they had a 1.2 star rating. But in terms of taste, probably give them like a 3. So that means Fire Away Pizza have an overall score of 4.6 out of 10. But the big question, would I call this a scam? In terms of the food that turned up, probably not. But the fact that I paid nearly £7 for a dessert and it's not here, and I haven't had my money back, that's literally the definition of a scam. So I guess I'm gonna have to call Fire Away Pizza a scam. And if you think that was bad, wait until you see some of the other restaurants later in this video. Next on the list is a place called Greek Twist, and they have a 3.9 star rating on Uber Eats, which is an improvement on the last one, but still far from perfect. And this supposedly authentic Greek restaurant is actually Flame and Ice, which is, by the looks of it, some sort of fast food place. And once again, as soon as you start looking at reviews, things get a little bit concerning. The first thing I noticed when I look at their reviews is they have a lot of 5-star reviews with no comments comments on them. You have to scroll past all of those to get to the real reviews. There's a review here from a guy named Ben who said he didn't receive his food, which is weird because there's also a guy that didn't receive his food at the last place called Ben. Do you think poor Ben's been sat there ordering from like 15 different restaurants on Uber Eats just waiting for his food to turn up and nothing ever shows? And there are also quite a few reviews that say their food did turn up, but it turned up cold and soggy. And probably the most concerning review of all comes from Tasha, who said, "Order never arrived. When I rang the store, he said that because I've ordered from a third party, that once they handed it to the driver, it's not their problem." I'm no expert in running a restaurant, but I don't think "it's not our problem" is a good slogan. I think I'm going to order the authentic Greek chicken gyros. How can you put authentic in the title of a product when you're not even a real Greek restaurant? I'm also going to order some oregano and paprika fries, or for you Americans out there, oregano. And for the mystery dessert, I'm going to order the... you thought I was going to tell you what it was? You're going to have to wait because I really need the audience retention. And all of that comes to a total of £21.07. Now, normally I would say that's decent value for money, but I've been to Greece quite a few times and you can get authentic chicken gyros in Greece for like £2.50 and they're selling it here for £7.99. So for value, in terms of Greek food in the UK, not too bad, but in terms of Greek food globally, that's quite expensive. So for value, I'm gonna give them a 5. I think that's fair. Ding dong. Is that the doorbell again? It does look like chicken gyros. I'll give them that. It does look like authentic chicken gyros, but it's so soggy and like soaked in grease. The fries look pretty good, but I'm not eating all of those. And for my mystery dessert, I've got churros. For accuracy, this is probably quite a high scorer. I'm gonna give them probably like a 7 on accuracy. Like, this looks pretty much what was on the menu. I'm gonna eat it from the middle. So if that offends you, I'm sorry. Pretty good on taste. That gyros is actually really good. And even though it's come from a place that has absolutely nothing to do with Greece, it does taste like authentic chicken gyros. The fries are just like soggy and cold. So it turns out these are filled with caramel. That is a seriously good mystery dessert. When I die, I want these at my weight. In terms of a taste rating, those soggy fries have probably dragged them down 1. But the gyros tasted genuine. These are unbelievable. I'm gonna have to give them an 8. It's the strongest taste score of the entire video, which gives Greek Twist a pretty high overall score of 6.3. So would I call this a scam? Honestly, no. It's a bit greasy and the fries aren't the best, but I would probably order from this place again. The next place has possibly the craziest dessert option I have ever seen. Next up, we're ordering from a place called Kick-Ass Burrito. This one makes absolutely no sense to me because Kick-Ass Burrito is actually Chiquitos, which if you're not from the UK, it's like a popular Mexican place here. But what I don't understand is why a popular, well-known restaurant would need to run ghost kitchens. But regardless, they have 4.4 stars out of 5 and over 1,000 reviews, which means they might be the best ghost kitchen so far, which unfortunately is quite a low bar. Most of the reviews of this place are positive, so I've got high hopes, apart from Shauna, who said, "I specifically put that I'm allergic to onions, no peppers, no vegetables at all. Burritos came with exactly what I said not to put, causing a reaction. I also said no sour cream." Sorry, Shauna, I refuse to believe you're allergic to onions, peppers, vegetables, and sour cream. What's that, and what is that doing on the menu? That has to be the most bizarre mystery dessert of the video so far. I think I'm going to order some halloumi fries. They have an item on the menu called the Big Boy Burrito. Stop giving your food weird names that nobody wants to say out loud. Think about it. I am too socially awkward to walk into a restaurant and order the Big Boy Burrito. Sorry, it's not happening. Just change the name to something boring that isn't fun, alright? I'm gonna have to order the Mighty Meat. Picture this in a restaurant. "Hi mate, glad to have you with us today. What are you gonna order?" Hiya. Can I put the Mighty Meat in my mouth, please?" Stop it. Just stop it. So I'm gonna order the Mighty Meat with barbecue sauce and no sour cream. Justice for Shauna. And all of that comes to a total of £24.86. But to be fair to them, £6.50 of that is Uber Eats delivery fee. So for value, I'm gonna give them like a 5, I think. Okay, that's the last time I do the doorbell thing. I don't have a doorbell. I'm a little bit confused because this is Kick-Ass Burrito, but it's arrived at the same time as an order for later in this video with the same driver. Ordinarily, wouldn't think anything of it, but Kick-Ass Burrito and the place later in the video are about 5 miles apart. So how have they come with the same driver unless somebody's lying about their location? What I assume is the Mighty Meat. This must be my mystery dessert, and these must be my halloumi fries. In terms of accuracy, it's kind of hard to judge a burrito based on how it looks because it's just the tortilla. So I'm going to base my accuracy test on the other items. Let's have a look at the halloumi fries. Sorry, who in their right mind is eating that? I'm not exaggerating when I say this literally tasted like eating mattress foam. No, I can't do that. I can't give them an accuracy score because there's no photo on the menu. Inside of this is brownie and cheesecake in a tortilla. Not too bad. In terms of taste, probably the best tasting thing in this video so far. Does that look like it does on the menu? Maybe, I think I can pass that off. So for accuracy, I'm gonna give them like a 7 out of 10 because I think that's fair. However, for taste, this has massively dragged them down. So for taste, I'm gonna have to give them like a 5. That's diabolical. The brownie cheesecake burrito. That is by far the best mystery dessert of this video. Genuinely, this alone has probably just raised their taste score from a 5 to a 6. That's phenomenal. And probably really bad for your health, but has it ever stopped me before? A strong effort from Kick-Ass Burrito with an overall score of 5.6. So would I say Kick-Ass Burrito is a scam? Probably not. Though those halloumi fries are borderline. So far, this video has restored my faith in ghost kitchens, but that's about to change. Next up, we're ordering from a vegan place called WTF, and it raises quite a few questions. When I went out to see what this ghost kitchen really is, what I discovered shocked me. This vegan restaurant is actually a burger place. And not a vegan burger place, a beef burger place. Meaning they're making the vegan food in the same kitchen, potentially using the same grills as they do to make beef burgers. I'm not going to throw out any allegations just yet until I've seen the food and tasted it, but something tells me it's unlikely that this place are taking extra precaution with their vegan food. They do have a rating of 4.4 stars, which is pretty good, but they do only have 22 reviews. And when you've got a small amount of reviews like that, a couple of fake positive reviews would make a big difference to your overall score. They don't have many reviews, but they do have one review from a man named Ben, you know where this is going, who said, "The order said it was delivered, but I never received my food." Ben, stop ordering from Uber Eats. Go somewhere that guarantees that your food will arrive. I'm sorry, Ben. This app is not for you. So there is something a little unusual about this menu. They actually serve a vegan Korean chicken burger, which on the surface looks pretty normal. Except the next restaurant that we're ordering from is a Korean chicken place, which also happens to be the same burger shop. So I'm going to order this Korean chicken burger because I have a feeling it's going to be available on both menus. I'm also going to order some vegan nuggets. And for the mystery dessert, wait a minute. They don't have any desserts. Just those 2 items alone come to £23.94. How can a vegan chicken burger and 6 nuggets be £24? 50 years ago, you could have bought a house with that. For value, I'm sorry, but that's a 2. I'm no longer doing the doorbell thing. I refuse to do the doorbell thing. So this is from the vegan place that I'm not quite sure if it's actually going to be vegan. Vegan Korean chicken burger, some vegan chicken nuggets, and no mystery dessert. I mean, they're completely cold, but they do look like nuggets and they do look like they did on the menu, so I have had vegan nuggets before and I remember them tasting better than that. The burger doesn't look too bad. Would I say this looks like it does on the menu? Probably not. Let's see how it tastes. That's vile. It's supposed to be barbecue. It tastes like washing up liquid. I feel like I'm doing a bush tucker trial. I know it's not real meat, but it's like grey. For accuracy, I can maybe pass off a 4. For taste, I'm going to have to give them a 2. I'm sorry. Because the nuggets do look like they do on the menu, but the chicken burger looks nothing like it does on the menu. But as for taste, that's probably the worst thing I've ever had from Uber Eats. That has to be like a 2. Which, unfortunately, puts them on an overall score of 3.6, the joint lowest in this video. I think I can confidently call that place a scam. That burger should not be consumed by any human being, vegan or non-vegan. And to make things worse, I'm about to order from the same place again. Next up, we're ordering from Koreatown. This place has a suspiciously similar menu to the last place, which is concerning because yes, they come out the same building, but one's meant to be vegan and one isn't. Their overall rating is 4 out of 5, which is not that bad considering they've got 230 reviews. Most of the reviews are positive, apart from Rio, who said, "Terrible, I could have done it better myself." Okay, Gordon Ramsay, why don't you do it yourself then? For the sake of comparison, I think I'm going to order the Korean chicken burger, the Korean fries, which were also on the menu of the last place, and for my mystery dessert, they don't have a dessert again. And just those 2 items alone come to £19.59. Brill burgers, more like scam burgers. Yeah, that'll show them. Oh, I forgot to give them a value score. 3 out of 10. I'm not doing it. The food has arrived from Koreatown. I have a really bad feeling about this, given that the vegan place was awful. And to make things worse, the seal on the bag has a sticker that says checked by, and they've left it blank, which means nobody's quality checked my food. So we have the non-vegan Korean chicken burger, which actually does have some branding on, which is more than you could say about most of the restaurants today. And a bag of fries that is so cold that if you told me they'd come from the Arctic, I'd believe you. These are my Korean fries. So cold. Why are the fries so spicy? How can food be so cold and so hot at the same time? Doesn't look massively different to what we got from the vegan place. It looks like real chicken. I would say the chicken patty's different, but in terms of accuracy, they're probably pushing a 4. It's passable for what's on the menu, but it's not exactly identical. Let's give this dry, cold burger a chance. I would say that's better than the vegan version by quite some way. Overall score on taste, I'm gonna give them like a 6. Which gives them a genuinely surprising high score of 5.6. Maybe the vegan food was the problem? Would I call this a scam? That one is a tough one. It's borderline because the food is not identical to the menu, but it is edible, and I think if it wasn't freezing cold, I'd have probably bumped them up a point or 2. So I'm going to say, no, this one's not a scam. But the next one, I'm not so sure. Our final ghost kitchens are Lock and Loaded Chicken and Flustercluck, which appear to be the same place. This is the final ghost kitchen on the list, and probably the most bizarre one of them all. This is my local pub, and what I wasn't aware of is they're running 6 ghost kitchens out of this little local pub, and they're all very similar. We have Lock and Loaded, Sin City Burgers, Flustercluck, K-Town Chicken, 88th Street Burger, and Mighty Burger. They're all coming out the kitchen of the same pub, so I'm going to order the same items from Lock and Loaded Chicken and Flustercluck to see if the quality is the same, the portion sizes are the same, and to see if the food is completely identical. But what I don't get is my local pub are always busy, they do really well, so why do they need to run 6 ghost kitchens at once? There are a few concerning reviews about Lock and Loaded Chicken saying that the order never turned up, but this seems to be a theme with ghost kitchens. So from Lock and Loaded Chicken, I'm going to order the barbecue chicken burger and the cheesy tater tots. So the photos on the menu for Flustercluck are exactly the same photos on the menu for Lock and Loaded Chicken, but somebody's photoshopped the background to be a different colour, but the food is clearly the same. I've just noticed while editing this video that they're actually charging a different price for 2 identical burgers. One is more than £1 more than the other. That alone is enough to call this a scam. So once again, I'm going to order the barbecue chicken burger and the tater tots. So the price of Lock and Loaded Chicken comes out at £17.27p, and the price of Flustercluck comes out at £15.61p. But the tater tots don't have cheese on at Flustercluck, even though it's the same place and they have the ingredient. Value for money here, I'm gonna have to give them like a 7, because that is the price that a burger should be. Those 2 are the only restaurants in this entire video where the food hasn't basically come to like £25. I've just found the mystery dessert for Lock and Loaded Chicken, but it says it's 950 calories. I'm gonna have to order the same dessert from both. Okay, so both orders actually arrived with the same delivery guy, and immediately I've noticed that one has a branded packaging but the other one doesn't. The burger, which is an identical packaging to the other place, immediately I already feel like I've been scammed by the fact that I've been given half as much ice cream from one place than the other. I would definitely say they're identical. I wouldn't say either of them look like the burgers on the menu. In terms of accuracy, based on these 2 items alone, the maximum I can give them is a 5. You can taste how burnt it is. That shouldn't be that colour, but it doesn't taste too bad. That took 15 minutes to deliver. How have they managed to burn it in 15 minutes? That does look like a good tater tot. And it tastes like a good tater tot. For accuracy, I'm going to stick with a 5 because these do look like they do on the menu, so I'm not going to downgrade them any further, but I'm struggling to understand how these are 950 calories each. There's nothing there, they're really small, but in terms of accuracy again, I wouldn't necessarily say that looks like they do on the menu. Kind of, but I was expecting one large cookie. It tastes like Hershey's, but like in the worst way possible. In terms of taste, the burger was burnt. The mystery dessert is one of the worst tasting cookies I've ever tasted. I think I'm probably going to have to give them a... And the winning ghost kitchen is Greek Twist. I'd send them their reward in the post, but they don't have an address, so